Chapter 4. Cracks in the Myth. The identity you built to survive is not the same one you need to live. Aarav stared at the shelves in his office. Awards, degrees, signed books from colleagues. His name etched in glass. Success, framed and frozen. But it didn't feel like his. He touched a photo frame. It was a snapshot from a summit in Brussels, him on stage, crisp suit, chin up, eyes alert. He remembered that night. He hadn't eaten. He'd rehearsed every sentence, every gesture. People had called him brilliant. He had smiled, bowed, gone back to his hotel, and cried in the shower for reasons he didn't understand. At his next therapy session, Mira said gently, "What if the version of you you've been presenting isn't a lie, but just incomplete?" That line stayed with him. He had always believed in earning worth. Perform, deliver, impress. If people admired him, he mattered. If they didn't, he vanished. But what if the self he'd curated wasn't his essence? Just a mask he wore so the world wouldn't see how fragile he felt underneath. Later that week, Aarav had coffee with an old friend visiting from Mumbai. Rishi was warm, unpolished, and maddeningly comfortable in his skin. Aarav hadn't seen him in 12 years. "Bro, you've done well," Rishi said. Seriously proud. "But you seem far." "Far?" Aarav asked. "Yeah, like you're in the room but also hovering somewhere else, watching yourself be impressive." Aarav laughed, but it hit too close. He had built his life like a fortress, and now the walls were starting to crack. That night, Aarav sat in silence with a new kind of ache. Not the ache of burnout, but the ache of not knowing who you are when you stop performing. He wrote in his journal, "I've been chasing an identity that always felt just out of reach. But what if I was never meant to chase it? What if I'm meant to return to it?" He began experimenting, saying "I don't know" in meetings, asking for help, letting silence sit between sentences instead of filling it with facts. Small things, but they felt like revolutions. He had always believed presence came from certainty. But now he saw real presence came from truth. Even when it was messy, especially then. Tool from the journey, identity check-in. Ask yourself, who am I when no one's watching? What version of me gets the most applause? And does it feel like me? What have I been afraid people would see if I stopped trying so hard? Here are some key takeaways for you to try. Doing one thing out of character that feels more true than impressive. Letting yourself be seen not for perfection, but for presence. You are not a brand. You are becoming.